I'm Annabelli Gizzi, class of 2024. Today I am hosting Transition into High School, where we will talk about what is on the minds of future freshmen as they enter high school. This should help you not only to become more familiar with the high school atmosphere, but should help you navigate your way through freshman year. Joining me in the studio is Kole Martin, class of 2026, Maura McCabe, class of 2025, and TJ Taylor, class of 2024. Thanks for joining me here today, guys. I really appreciate it. So let's get in with our first question. So what was the biggest difference between high school and middle school for you guys? As in, like, maybe struggles and successes, or any advice that you have just for, like, the transitional purposes?
I think, like, the biggest difference is definitely the more freedom that you get. Because you definitely get a lot more freedom in high school.
I 100% agree with that. A lot of more creative freedom as well. More freedom definitely in classes and what you can pick to choose around high school, because not only is it academics, there's so many other things, which we will get into later.
This is kind of going away from academics, but the biggest difference that I noticed is just phones. Like, you can have your phones out basically 24/7 here, but last year, like, you would get it taken even if, like, you had it out for a second.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a difference, but you still want to, like, manage it, because you don't just want to be on it the whole time and then just, like, fall behind in that class.
No, I completely agree. Like, definitely, you also use it more as a tool in high school,
Yeah.
which is so much different, because in middle school they kind of shut out our phones, but in high school we use those a lot more as tools. Yeah. So I agree with you guys on that. So how long did it take you guys to learn your way around the building?
I think it really took me like 20 minutes, because like everything is like grouped together, like the English hallway, the social study hallway, math hallway, science hallway. So I don't really think, I know it's a big building, but I really don't think it's too hard to get around.
No, I definitely agree. You walk in here and it's like, wow, like, this is a huge building. I'm never going to get to know it. But as soon as you find your way, maybe you run through it once or twice, you eventually learn and it becomes a lot easier.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah. The layout makes sense. Yeah. So how does the homework load compare to middle school?
So I was just in middle school last year, and I would say I took all academic this year, so I didn't really have much homework. Like, and like the teachers give you like a ton of time to be able to do your homework in class, and most of it's not that difficult. So I would say, like, if you're stressing about that, or like rumors that like high school like homework is so much, like, you get so much more of it, it's much tougher, it's really not.
Yeah, I totally agree. And in high school, I feel like your homework, you're more doing it for yourself and your learning instead of those points just go in the grade book, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it definitely gears you towards your academic career and what you're learning. So I think doing your homework is a lot more important in high school than just getting those points.
To elaborate on that, I think homework depends on what class you take too.
Oh yeah.
Like, as you go, I'm a junior, so like the AP classes, homework's there's definitely more of it. So you have to be able to have time management and get your homework done. Because it not only, like you said, doesn't only affect the points, it affects like your score on the next test.
Your learning, absolutely. So this is a big one, definitely, that I acknowledged when I was a freshman. And do classes have both upperclassmen and lowerclassmen?
It depends.
Yeah, I agree.
So like if you take like core classes, they'll probably all be in your grade. But sometimes they can differ. But like electives normally are where you get like seniors or freshmen.
Yeah, and like, what specific classes have you guys been involved that have had different people in different grades?
So since I'm an academic this year, there are a couple like sophomores like spread out that like had to take it again this year.
Yeah.
So I had a couple of those, but then I took I took world mythology, which had like a ton of upperclassmen. There are only like 3 freshmen in that. But then I took media, which had like no freshmen, because that's usually like, I mean, it had freshmen and sophomore, because that's usually like a lower classman class. And then I took intro to STEM, which is kind of a mix of just everyone.
Yeah, definitely classes that are more mixed, definitely geared towards electives. Normally your core classes will have same grade, just for academic purposes. But what do you think the pros are to having upperclassmen in your class?
I definitely think that like I've made some really good friends.
Oh,
and
yeah,
also,
totally.
They like make good resources, because if you're having trouble with a class, you can always ask an upperclassman friend.
Totally. I totally agree. And especially it's kind of nice having someone older than you who has like gone through the roots and has gone through freshman year already. So definitely looking up to upperclassmen was a huge thing for me whenever I was in my freshman years. I think definitely electives is a big thing. You will have upperclassmen in there. Speaking of classes, what have been your favorite classes that you've taken here so far?
Mine's Spanish 3.
Spanish 3?
I know it seems really weird to have like a world language as your favorite class, but I feel like growing up, like we've only like learned about like our history and culture. I think it's really interesting to learn about. No, it doesn't have to be Spanish, but I feel like it's interesting to learn about another culture and like their history.
Oh my gosh, absolutely, yeah. My favorite class is definitely broadcasting. You make films and work with cameras. I love On Air, which is like the morning announcements. It's also a great class. All of our teachers and all of our classes are great here, and you make lots of friends and you learn lots of new things. So anyone else have anything else?
I really like taking media as a freshman.
Media?
I mean, like, it's never something that I thought I would like, and like, it is tough at first. Like, you kind of have to like get through that. Like, it's like, they've never really talked about it much in middle school, but it's definitely a class I recommend to take, because then once you take that, it opens up to like On Air, like you said, and broadcasting.
Yeah. Media is something that is definitely shadowed in the middle school, and when you come to high school, you definitely see the world of it, whether you're involved in the classes or not. The media kids are everywhere. So another thing about classes, do you take any honors courses, and are they difficult?
Right now, I'm taking AP United States History, APUSH.
Ooh.
It is pretty difficult, but I think this applies to all honors courses. Like, once you get in the groove of it, you're good.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about
It's
it.
definitely a very dramatic change from a academic level class. I would say I take honors English this year, and I definitely think the workload is a little heavier. You need to take it a lot more seriously than an academic class. I totally agree with you. Anything else?
I didn't take any honors this year, so I don't really know, but like, even if you're an academic, like, it's still like there's work for all of them. Like, it's like you're not like some just require you to put a little more work in.
In general, high school is definitely a lot more work, but I would say if you do decide to take an honors level course, I would say definitely expect to have more work that you need to do for your learning instead of the points just going in the grade book. Back to that one point that we made before. So how can you make a decision on a class when you could have been debating on another? Like, picking between two classes, what would you do in that situation?
I would look at like what you're interested in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily pick a class like just to have it like on your transcript.
Totally.
I know a lot of people do that, like just to say like they took like AP Lang or something. But I feel like to like enjoy, like to like only take the upper classes if you're interested in it, because if you're not, it's going to be awful.
I agree. I totally agree. And one thing I would say is that when you are a freshman, you kind of don't know what you want to do when you go out of high school and you enter college. So that is your year to explore through all the different types of electives and different types of careers that you could have. See what you're interested in. Maybe join some clubs, you know what I mean? Like, that is the year to figure out yourself, and then you take that on as you get older. Definitely. So what are some ways to stay organized? This is a big one.
Definitely, I honestly like folders and binders. Like, sometimes people like will smash everything into one binder and they can never find their homework. Keep it folders and binders. And I know that might sound a little like crazy or way too organized. It's not. I promise. It's normal. Please do that.
Definitely, as we transitioned out of like the technology level, we kind of went back to paper a little bit. So now we're doing a little bit of both. So sometimes we can get a little mixed up of what is where. So definitely, as you said, binders, folders, definitely a huge key, especially if you do take upper level classes, you're going to have so much more work. So it's definitely a huge key to stay organized in high school. Not only your schoolwork, just in general with any activities you're involved in or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, like making a schedule, it like is a little tedious and it like takes a little bit, but just like knowing what you have that day, knowing what you have that week helps so much with like being able to prepare for after school for what you have.
Being prepared for your classes is another thing. You want to make sure that you have what you need, because that will gear you to success in that class for sure.
But going based off what he said, I just started doing this year. Like, I have a planner with all my classes, and I know we used to do it all like growing up and stuff, but it really helps me because after I finish something, I'll highlight it off and I'll feel like so accomplished.
Yeah, no,
I finally got something done.
That's, yeah, I totally agree. I kind of know we touched base on this a little bit, but are you able to use your phone during the day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good tool, and honestly, it's like, I know when you first like come here, it can be really scary to like find where all your friends are. But like texting your friend and being like, hey, where are you? Do you want to sit together at lunch? Got me through freshman year.
So with the freshmen, I only have like, there's only a couple teachers that I have that make us put our phones away like in a holder. I don't think, like once you go up into high school, I don't think that's as much anymore. But they usually only do that because like it could be like a class that you really have to pay attention in.
Yeah.
And like you don't just want to like be on your phone watching TikTok the entire time because like that's not going to help you at all.
No, I totally agree. And as you do get older, like they expect you to be more mature with your cell phones. So I feel like we also use those more as a tool as well. I know that I'm doing research constantly on Google for classes or looking up calculators or whatever. So definitely you just need to be mature about it and keep your head straight and knowing when to use it and when not to use it, because then if you use it too much, then you're showing a little bit of disrespect towards your teachers and you want to make sure that you're staying on the right path. So how can you utilize your locker even though we carry our backpacks in school?
I really only used my locker to like hold my lunch in. If you bring a lunch, definitely use your locker then. Other than that, like textbooks.
Yeah, no, totally. I don't really see anyone using lockers here, but they are a nice resource if you do want to put your jacket in it during the day, because I know during the winter, maybe I'll put my jacket in there if I get hot or if I don't want to carry it around or if I can't fit it in my book bag. Definitely some textbooks. I know we don't always use our textbooks just because we're so online based now that I sometimes store it in there. Or again, lunches can also go in there, or just like extra items that you might need throughout the day that you don't necessarily want to carry in your backpack. Totally, yeah. Just don't forget where your locker is, because I did that earlier this year. I forgot where my locker was. So how much time do we have to make it to class, and do you think it is efficient?
4 minutes. I definitely think it's efficient because, I mean, even walking across the school, like you can still make it across in like 3 minutes, like if you're really trying to. So I think 4 minutes is definitely plenty of time to get to class.
No, and I agree. I think that if you aren't distracted and you know where you're going, but you can still have a little fun with it. You can still talk to your friends in the hall, or you can have a quick bathroom break or whatever you want to do. Stop at your locker maybe, or go talk to some friends in the hall. Definitely, I think that that time allows you to do that, but I also think that you need to be very straightforward and be like, okay, now I need to get to class. Teachers aren't as strict as the middle school with what time you get to class. As long as you're not like 10 minutes late, it's okay. Just make sure that you're still being mature and still have a good head on your shoulders and are not super late.
Yeah, like you don't want to be sprinting down the hallways to get to a class, because like teachers, like they're not going to scream at you or like give you a detention or anything. They're pretty like relaxed unless it gets like a weekly thing.
No, totally. So let's talk about lunch in the cafeteria. I personally love the cafeteria. I think it's a great break, especially when you can sit outside. What is your opinion on lunch here at PTHS?
I honestly think it's pretty good. It's a lot better than middle school lunches.
I completely agree. Most people are like, oh, school lunches, but we do have the opportunity to have a really good lunches here. I really do think that. I also think that what we are provided with, like the staff, also make sure that our tables are clean every day. And I just think that it's a nice 41 minutes of just relaxing and sitting down. And if the weather's nice, you can sit outside as well. So how do you guys utilize your lunchtime to stay organized? As in like schoolwork, do you complete schoolwork during lunch periods, or do you kind of use that time just to relax?
It would depend on the day. If I have like a test or something later in the day, I'll often use my lunchtime to maybe review. I won't spend all 41 minutes, but maybe like 10 to 15, just so I'm like ready for the next test.
But like taking your lunch as like a break to just kind of relax from the day is like something that you should never be ashamed of. Like you need that break in your day, and like having that in your schedule is helpful.
Yeah, especially as you get older. I know we are juniors now, and our schedules are probably insane. So as you do get older, having that nice break just to take it all in is definitely nice. So what is your guys' advice on meeting new people at the high school?
Personally, my advice would be join clubs, because I have met some of my best friends through the clubs that I've joined.
Of course. There are so many options here at the high school, to like environmental types of stuff, to languages, to theater, to sports, to so many different things. Whatever you're interested in, I'm sure we have something for it. What are some of the things you guys are involved in?
I play baseball, and my best friends are from baseball. Some of them I met like freshman year because I haven't done like Peters in a while, but some of them that I've met and continue to meet have been like my best friends for a couple years now.
I'm in theater. I did horticulture club for a little, and I was in student council for a little.
Okay, cool. Did you like those? Did you
Yeah,
like them?
Fespines is like, I started it last year, and then I keep doing it this year, and it's one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we are both in thespians, Maura and I. Definitely one of the best things I think I've involved with myself. There's so many opportunities that open up with all different types of clubs at our school. And I think it's really great because it gives you a break from the academic side when you're here at the building. So we have how they don't separate classes like elementary and middle school. Like, I think that that's great because the classes with like upperclassmen can also gear you towards those clubs. Like, they can encourage you to join things. Because I know walking in as a freshman, it's a little like, hey, where do I go? Do I take the right path or I take the left path? Like, it's kind of like, okay, what do I want to do? And I think back to that classes with the upperclassmen thing, I think having them also can lead you to where you want to be and could help you a little bit.
I mean, walking in on your first day, like, as a freshman, like, in class with upperclassmen, of course it was, like, a little scary because you're like, I don't want to, like, sit in their seat or something or, like, sit, like, too close to them. But, like, none of them are ever going to really, like, be that rude to you. Like, they're always usually there to help you. So, like, never just be afraid to reach out to them.
Yeah, like, stereotypical thing is like, oh, upperclassmen, but really, it's not like that at all here. So what are some of the favorite activities here at the high school, not other than clubs? Like, I know that sometimes we do pep rallies and sometimes we do tournaments. What are some things that you guys have either seen or been involved with that you really enjoy here?
I know pep rally kind of goes with like homecoming and all that stuff, but homecoming is so fun.
We have so many good opportunities to have fun here. Homecoming is a huge one. It is a lot of fun.
Compared to, like, the middle school and elementary, like, you didn't really have that much stuff to do. Like, that was, like, the school put together. But, like, this year, there's so many things that you can do, like, that, like, you can meet up with your friends, like, other people. And it's, like, pep rallies, dances. There was a glow dance, but that got canceled. But it's just, there's more than what you had before.
Oh, totally. There are so many different things that you can be involved with that our school sponsored, as in like dances, or like we know that college visits come during lunch periods. It's just a huge resources. I don't know if you guys have been to any of them yet. I've been to one and they are very helpful, definitely. I know that we have the Army come during lunch periods, which is awesome and great for the kids that want to be involved with that. So if you're interested, there's an outlook for that. We have so many different types of resources like electives and all that type of stuff. There's just so many things you can get involved with, and I think one of the biggest things is not being afraid to take that step into going into those things. So if you could give our freshmen one of like the greatest advice that you could give before we wrap up, what would your best advice be to our freshmen this year?
I would say don't be afraid to talk to upperclassmen. Like a lot of us said earlier, they're super friendly people. They've been through the process, so they know what like a good class is, or like they could give you their opinion. So I just think talk to upperclassmen so like you can get a feel for like a class or a club or something like that.
I would probably just say follow like you and not like what all your friends want. Like doing like what you want to do instead of just like doing what like the majority of your friends want to do is such a big thing. 'Cause like I was always scared to join theater, like just in case like my friends like didn't like it or something. And then like it was some of the best things in my life. So like just don't be afraid to like take that class.
I totally agree. Middle school is very like, I'm gonna stay in this one group and we're gonna do this and it's gonna be this structured. But when you come to high school, like it's okay to branch out and open to other things and make new friends. I 100% agree with that.
I think it's really easy to feel alone in such a big school where you might not be in the classes with your friends, but I think it's really important to remember that you will find your people and that you will not be alone.
Exactly.
Like, you might have like 1 or 2 days on your first day of school where maybe you don't know someone in your class, but as long as you reach out and like try and make friends, you will absolutely find like some of your best friends.
No, 100%. And I know I have also had that similar situation, and my best friends are actually younger than me, so it's like, you come to high school and you meet so many different people and so many kind people, and our staff is great, and just overall it's a great experience and it flies by very quickly. My high school career has flown by so fast. I remember it feels like just yesterday I was a freshman walking into the school and I was like, wow, like this is insane. But thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciated you talking with me today and helping our freshmen out. So thank you to Kole, Maura, and TJ for joining me in the studio today. We want to thank you for watching our discussion of what it is on the minds of future freshmen. I hope you found this information helpful. Stay tuned for future topics of interest brought to you by Peters Township Counseling Department. Thank you.